Shout out to all the Asian Americans out there doing it right. Putting ourselves through schools, taking care of the kids, keeping it tight. Making sure that when it comes to their future is guaranteed bright. Homework, parent night, long nights, always keep it up real tight. Smile, hug, and kisses. Life's good, make every second count so you won't miss it. Even when the times get tough, never forget to pray. Always thank the Lord above and ask for better days. Always be real, always stay true. Never be ashamed and always know your roots. Even though we're minorities, there's a place for all of us here, as long as you take care of your sobriety. Everybody, how's it going? Hope all's well. My name is Jackson. I'm a sales development professional in the space, and this is the documentary. You know, I'm only going to share this once, and I'm only going to share it once only. And what you're going to learn from this documentary is, what's it like growing up as a poor Asian American? How to keep pushing forward. Mental health and pretty much addiction. I'm only going to share this once and one time only, and that's it. A lot of people ask me to come on their platform, man. 4 or 5 plus, come on and share the recovery story, which I'll get to in a few moments. But truth is, no matter what, if you recover, the right terminology is active recovery, unless you're fully turned up into it. So a little background, I'm currently 32 years old, firstborn Asian American. Parents were refugees from Vietnam. During this time of the Vietnam War, a lot of people were getting killed, man. A lot of people. Talking about the Viet Cong coming in and just bashing through the door, fucking shit up. I remember when I was a kid growing up, my dad would always say, son. My Vietnamese name is Son, such as the last name. You know, you're really lucky to be here. When I was going to school, all I had was just a little small piece of rice in the hand to eat and go to school, and that was it. You know, there's a lot of, I want to put out there, there's a lot of people out there grew up the same adversity like we did. We settled in Orange County, Garden Grove, California. It's Westminster. There's also Texas, East Coast, North Carolina. We all face the same adversity and challenges. Some has it better, some had it worse. A lot of people think if you're an Asian American, you're going to grow up to be a doctor or a lawyer, but what they don't see is the other side, the dark side, the hood side, the side where you have to stand up for yourself or else you're going to get picked on. I was never in the gang, but I definitely knew a lot of them. You want stories? We'll get there. When it comes to mental health for us Asian American, it does not exist. Does not exist. To make it clear, what I'm talking about when I mean don't exist is for the Asian American who grew up as a 90s child and 2000 era. Things were really, really bad, man. There was a lot of gang violence, a lot of fights, but it started to die down in the 20-ish 10. I realized a lot of people were starting to go to school. They started getting jobs, careers, which is all good and dandy. And you can even relate this with everything, man. And the reason I'm sharing this story is to shed light for the Asian Americans of how it used to be. Not how is it now, how it used to be. I remember about 5th or 6th grade, I have a neighbor that lives behind me. His name was Michael Sweet. Yo, Michael Sweet, if you're out here listening to something, wherever you're at, man, one love, I hope you're doing well. I was a kid. I remember I had some kind of dirt ball mud in my hand, and he was just picking on me, man. Picking on me. And then he just bashed that dirt hand in my hand in the garage. I got so mad, I just socked him in the face. 3 clocks. Pop, pop, pop. 3 pieces of soda. Gave him a bloody nose, and I just ran scared for my life. Ran to the front yard, and then he ran home. His parents came out, started knocking, and I had to explain everything. He picked on me. I was scared. I didn't know why, and he was just bleeding. And he said, "You know what? Forgive you. My son messed up." Michael Sweet. I went to the school down the street, man. Cook School Elementary. I had a few best friends that time. Phillip Doe, Andy Doe. And I know if you're watching this, Andy Doe, you know what to do. Hope all is well with you, man. In life, I was always told no. Always told no. I remember in 6th grade, elementary school teacher, Miss O'Connor and Mrs. Lebingood it was a family friends night report card thing. They told my best friend's parents, do not let him hang out with Jackson. Do not let him hang out with Jackson, because he's either going to end up dead or in jail. She fucking said that. And you know what? She was right. I went to jail a few times for things I didn't do, but you're right, I did. But guess what? I made it out. Miss O'Connor, Miss Lebingood, I officially made it tech. Got a college degree. Even though it took me 10 years, why am I still thinking about it now? Wherever you are, if you're ever watching this, Miss O'Connor, Miss Lebingood, I forgive you. You know, I was a bad kid, man. Growing up, I was picked on a lot as a kid, even from my own relatives. That's why I was a bully, because I was bullied. And I thought if I did become the bully, that I would be bullied. So if there's ever anyone out there who I ever picked on, I'm sorry, man. I apologize. It wasn't my intention. Growing up now, where you are, look back, you go, man, you realize the stupid thing you done. Right? Young, small, dumb. You just gotta live life. You want my rebel stats? I'll give you my rebel stats. Got kicked out 7th grade. Went to juvenile hall for something I didn't do. Went to school freshman year, got kicked out again. Went to continuation school for 10th grade. Came back junior high, straightened up. Freshman year, 9th grade. I was such a rebel. So I want to give a few backgrounds. I have 2 older brothers. No, 2 brothers. 1 older, 1 younger. Family of 5. Rest of my other relatives, like family of 10, family of 9, family of 11. And we're all fortunate that we live in a house. I don't even know how we got a house. But from what I heard before I was born, our parents were living down the street in the Kudabao, the apartments. And all of them saved up their money, spent $0 until they somehow, some way got a loan for the American dream, got a house. Here at this house that we're still at on Aaron Street, when we first moved here, I remember all 5 of us lived in 1 room. My parents rent the rest out in the newspaper. And we got burglarized twice by the motherfucker that rent the room. Burglarized the house, jumped off, took off. And whoever you are, you still owe us 1 month rent. Yeah. I was such a rebel, man. In 9th grade, I remember taking out my dad's car at late night, 10, 11:30-ish. I don't even know how to drive, but I learned how to drive myself. Picked up my buddy 2 down the street. And we picked up a good friend of ours too. Her name is Lisa Lee. Hey, Lisa, if you're ever watching this, I think you just got married recently. Congratulations. If you're ever watching this, I'm not sure you remember. I'm sure you remember. We picked you up, me, you, and 2. We went for a little cruise around the street, and I had a little tarantula at the time. I don't even know how I got that, but yep. Freshman year, a lot of fights, man. A lot of fights. And, you know, in junior highs, it was a thing. A lot of people wanted to be known, wanted to be respected, and they're just out there fighting each other. We had a boxing match, a school boxing match down the street on Bolsa Grande right here. It was the handball courts. I remember it was like 3 different schools that came up, and everyone was just randomly boxing each other. 2 of our side lost. I think it was like 3-4 boxing matches. We lost for the most part, but we did have 1 win or 2 wins from my other buddy. But I remember I was just standing there at the handball court looking across the street. There's one dude just sitting there just staring me down. It's like mad dogging me. Put my hand and said, "What's up?" So we boxed. Took him out. I was like crazy legs. I was just jumping up around left and right. One of our buddy named Danny, he recorded it. Pretty sure he said, "Hey, Danny, shout out to you, man. You got a house and everything, kid. Much love, baby. That's what's up." I took him out. Went to a hotel party that same night with the buddies. Got props from our friends and family. But, man, after that, I was beat. My foot was tired. Everything was beat, man. And you know what's funny? I ran into him recently. Was hanging out at a restaurant across the street with my friends and family. The restaurant's called CTB for CTB Eatery, something like that. CTB. They serve exotic meat. Coyotes, pig chicks, lizards, rattlesnake. And I was just in line at the restaurant. He's like, "Hey," it's a random Asian guy, right? Tapped me in the back. You're Jackson, right? Dude, I don't remember, man. You remember me? Like, what? We boxed in junior. I was like, "Oh, at the handball courts." It's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, dude, that was you?" He's like, "Yeah, it's me. My name's Dylon." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I messed you up." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude, what's up, Dylon? Shout out to you too, bro." But that's the shit we were going through, man. And I'm not throwing this out here to say, "Oh, hey, look, be scared of us." No. Want to let you know where us Asian Americans came from, man. Dirt poor. Didn't have much. Some of us has more than others, but we were fortunate to grow up in a house. You know, the canned Vienna sausages, grew up eating that. Every time I walk through an aisle and I see a can of Vienna sausages, I say, "Fuck, man, fuck." I get pissed. I hate Vienna sausages, man. But you know what? Every time I walk through the aisle, I see it. I curse. I buy a whole pack. I bring it home. I eat it with rice and soy sauce. Why? Because that's where I came from, man. Stay true to your roots. You know, you want some further details? I'll give you a little furtther detail, not so much. Been shot at, man, once in front of my house. It was really bad. It was like with the other agents that just came across who really can't speak English. They're after my friends. They just happened to live in the corner by the house right here. We had like several groups just staying outside. Car drove by, bop, bop, bop. And I was like, fuck. I don't want to live like this anymore. It was right in front of my parents too. Next day, cops rolled up, G unit, all that rolled up, tossed my room up, told them that they're going to mess me up in front of my mom. And then they scream and yelled at my mom right in front of her face and say, "I'm going to jack her." And then walk up to me and say, "You want me to mess up your mom in front of your face?" That was the G unit. Yeah. We faced some adversity. And, you know, I'm just throwing out there not to say, again, to say, "Oh, hey, look at me, how tough I am." No. Made out of that, man. But that's where we came from. Because everyone always see, "Oh, you're Asian, doctor, lawyer," but what everyone sees the other side, the flip side, the hard side, where you gotta stay hard, man. You know, growing up, it wasn't all that, but yeah, just moving on to addiction and mental health now, man. The first time I ever had alcohol was at a really, really young age, 16, 15. Bud Light was the norm. Constantly drinking Bud Lights all day, every day, because it was cheap. Got the job done. But it affected me a little bit in the long run. You know, first time I ever tried drugs was MDMA, long time ago, and it was pretty bad. It was like the thing at the time. They call it like a roll party. Everyone would like book a hotel and everyone come there and roll, and everyone just doing anything, having a good time. But you know what I realized, that it affects you in the long run. I noticed that those who expose it early kind of slows down later down the road, but those who never done it, later, once they get to college and stuff, they want to experience it, and then they go even harder. I remember at T-Mobile, I met doctors and lawyers, pharmacists who rose every weekend because they'd never done it in their life, and they just got exposed and they love it. Big house, kids asleep, few friends over, nice loud music, all on their own. I'm like, God damn. You know, I want to talk about drugs and addiction. To clear it for everyone here, I recovered 20 days, 30 days nonstop. And then I want to have a sip of beer or two. I love beer, man. Draft beer, especially with good company. Good beer, good company. That counts as a relapse. So to throw it out there, and I'm only going to say it once, the right terminology is active recovery. And yes, I'm still attending my AA rehab recovery today. As a matter of fact, I was there yesterday. But, you know, you think deep down, when people hear addicts, they only see what's on the outside. What they don't see is on the inside. You look at people, that guy's a homeless over there. That other dude's a fucking bum. Guy look like shit. Mr. Broken Promises. Screw that guy. Get away from me. You're nothing. Worthless. Treat him hard in how life really is. So we have these people, and you want to talk to addicts to get them better. You must understand them. Runners run, and when you get that endorphins are there to mask physical pain. Addiction is there to mask emotional pain. So 9 out of 10 of everyone I know who are addicts, myself included, the reason they're using is because somehow, some way, deep down, something happened or occur. Maybe it's a death in the family, a loss of a loved one, financial, losing your job, losing your girlfriend. It's trauma, emotional trauma. Addiction isn't a problem. Addiction is an attempt to solve a problem. It's a response to human suffering. And that's where my man, Dr. Gabriel, made. So I had a buddy that once reached out when I was going through this dark time. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. We're not friends anymore. And he goes, you got to stop it, man. I didn't want to talk to you, but your little brother asked me to reach out. How would you think that made him feel? If you want to try help other person who's going through addiction, the right approach is, hey, look, I heard you going through this. I want to check in on you. You know, I want to let you know you're not alone. But if you can answer a few questions for me and see it as not an interrogation, but just an inquiry, you know, doing what you do, what does it do for you? And why are you in so much emotional pain? If you get that down, you start a journey. Start a journey for healing. You know, Asian American, man, in the 90s, growing up 20s, for those who are in the 25s and 35s right now, 40 plus, if you're working with them right now, you let them, they'll let you know mental health does not exist. It does not exist until you realize it actually does. I'm fucking 32 years old. Mental health is fairly new to me, just several months, man, 3-4 months. When I went on a Wisconsin trip to meet my boy Ryan Zadrazil, I met his whole entire family. His dad's a retired public defender. His mom worked for the city, retired. Big house, golden white gates, everything, the whole American dream. After that experience I had with them, they were so welcoming. I came back to the hotel and a fucking tear dropped down my eye. Because that's what the American dream's about. Something we're always after, we always wanted, but we never had it. Just this weekend, I went to San Diego with my family, a little mini getaway trip. For the first time ever in my life, first time ever, went to a water park. And I had flashbacks. I was staying there before going down the first slide with my cousin. All this water is coming down the slides. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's laughing. Everyone's smiling. The sun is hot. And you're just getting there soaking wet. And I went down the slide. A fucking tear dropped down my eye. Always wanted to go to water park when I was a kid, man. Channel 5 fucking cartoon commercials. Raging waters and wild rivers, baby. That shit went through my head a lot. I was like, oh, wow. Never had this opportunity. Now I did. Thank you. And that's mental health, man. You got to be able to take care of yourself and be aware. You know, I'm just want to share a story, let you know that you may work with Asian Americans. You may have friends who are Asian Americans. If you do, I guarantee you, reach out, I challenge you to open the door and open the conversation with them. Some of them won't talk about it because they're embarrassed. And that's all right. I had a coworker, came from the same background I did. First corporate sales job. Chat her about stuff. She brushed it under the rug. Embarrassed, forgot where she came from. And it's all right. It's all right. Stay true to the roots. Always. I challenge you. 9 out of 10. You ask the Asian American right now who's in 25 to 35 range. Hey, the story that Jackson's talking about right now, where mental health does not exist. There's a lot of fights and violence back then. Is this relevant? I guarantee you they're going to say, all right, one or two things. Either, yes, I went through that. Or no, but I do know someone who went through that. 100%. You know, just to end it here, man. When it comes to addiction and healing, whoever's out there going through stuff, I want to let you know you're not alone. Healing starts from the inside, not the outside. It's like life when they talk about an egg. You crack the egg from the outside in, it dies. But if it cracks from the inside out, life starts again. Everyone has problems, man. Fucking everybody. Everyone has problems. Someone who look at you and say, I'm not going through nothing is bullshitting to you. And again, I just want to let you know, I'm just sharing this story just once and one time only, man. That I'm happy where I'm at right now. Sales development professional. Gonna have me taking a step back as an SDR and BDR at a W2 company that I believe in. But I am so, so happy for a bright future God ahead of me, man. Officially made it to the tech game, baby. What's up? Happy to help anyone and anyone, man. But to end it here, just want to say shout out and thanks to all the love and support from each and everybody who supports the podcast and the post itself. My mission really, honestly, I want to help as many SDR and BDRs become the best they can be in the role before they leave. Know that prospecting will always, always, always be a demanded trait. Just know that even if you move on as an AE, customer success, SDR manager, never let your foot off the gas pedal, man. Sales development is a constant change of art. What works today may not work tomorrow. And mental health does exist. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Jax. I'm a sales development professional, and this is the documentary. Cheers.